Now, I'd like to introduce someone who is already pretty well known in the upper school. Whether you've had him for calculus or enjoyed his psychology class, Mr. John Street, or Streeter, as he is known by his close friends, has likely imparted more than a few words of wisdom to CA students since his arrival in 2001. A coach through and through, he has been involved with CA's football program since 2003. Prior to coming to Columbus Academy, he spent 17 years teaching public school and 15 more years teaching and coaching at the university level. Next year will be his 53rd year of teaching and coaching. Please welcome John Street to the podium.
I feel like I'm getting ready to do a junior speech. So we'll just consider this one, since I'm a senior speech. When Mrs. Ezekaitis asked me to do this, the first thing I thought of was what an honor it would be to address this assembly. So I would like to thank Mrs. Soderberg. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My seniors know my technology skills are awful. Mrs. Soderberg, Mrs. Ezekaitis, Mr. Werner, faculty, staff, students, parents, guests, but most importantly, the class of 2021. What I thought I would do today is share a collection of short stories. Random, so please bear with me. The first thing I thought about was it's important to know your audience. Where are the senior football players? Could I have you stand up, please? The senior football players. One of the things that we always did after a win was have a cheer. And what I thought I'd do is to start today was, let's do one last cheer. Is that okay? You guys haven't forgotten it, have you? Okay. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Oh, oh, oh. Have a day, have a day, have a day. 4B, 4B, 4B. Give me two, give me two, give me two. I was taken back to a story about the great Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England during World War II. And after the war, he became one of the most sought after speakers in the world. And so in 1946, he went to Princeton University to give the graduation address. A very, very, very warm day, triple digits for the temperature. And Churchill, being Churchill, was up on the stage. He had a black gown on, was unzipped, and he was smoking a cigar. In the time that the introductions were being made, two people in the crowd had passed out from exhaustion because of the heat. And so when they introduced Churchill, there were 200 writers from across America to listen to what his pearls of wisdom would be. So as they introduced him, Churchill came up, and his reply is in this little tiny book that one of my students gave me. Remember, know your audience. And his speech went, never, 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 never give up. He went back and sat down, and the graduating seniors gave him a 2-minute standing ovation. Know your audience. My second story involves the class of 2021. The significance of the number 21, I did go to Google and see what it would say to me about that number. I had already known that 21 was the legal drinking age in Ohio. Playing the casino game blackjack, 21 is very good. In fact, the phrase that goes with that is winner, winner, chicken dinner. The 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment to the US Constitution, which said manufacturing and consumption of alcohol was illegal. And in the Bible, 21 is a sign from the angels of achievement and success. It is a symbol of perfection and maturity. It refers to something extremely important, like you. The third story, or thoughts on the meaning of life, a loaded question that I used to ask in psychology, but it got silence. So here are some thoughts for you guys on that. From our supplemental book, The Last Lecture, which is truly one of my favorite books, Randy Pausch said, "We cannot change the cards we are dealt, only the way we play the hand." Maury Schwartz from the book Tuesdays with Maury said, "Life is like the tension of opposites. It's a rubber band that pulls us in opposite directions. Pulls you one way, you do one thing, pulls you another way, you do another thing. So who wins?" And according to Maury, love, because love always wins. Back to Randy Pausch, we've talked so much in psychology about the brick walls, and you guys who have been in my class, you 31, you know what they are. We had no lock-in this year. We had hybrid learning. We had no student attendance for the football games. The brick walls. You're going to have them all of your life. What are you going to do? And then in the last film we watched, Collateral Beauty, the author Will Smith says, life is three abstractions: love, death, and time. And they're with us forever. And then I have a couple of thoughts. My favorite phrase, as you guys could recite, is, "You're smart enough. Are you strong enough?" You have been at this wonderful place, and we have built in many things for you to be successful. Safety nets. Guys, they're going away next year. So you're smart enough because you couldn't have gotten into this place. Are you strong enough to deal with the world's going to throw at you? Another one of my phrases from something that I wrote called Streets Philosophy is, "There's no such thing as that's not fair. The only thing that's not fair is what happened to my hair." And you are not invisible, invincible, invulnerable. I think back to a line from MC Hammer's song, "Can't Touch This." Well, we already dealt with something for the last 15 months that touched a lot of people. So we're not immune from anything. Number 4, here is a blast from the past. In 1976, a book was written that was a bestseller called "What Really Happened to the Class of '65?" Here I am. That year, #1 on Billboard's top 40 was a song by the Byrds called Turn, Turn, Turn. It's from the Old Testament, out of the book of Ecclesiastes. And I just wanted to share, if I might, a couple of stanzas from that. At the very end, it says, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to reap, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. 1965, you guys, pretty applicable for 2021. And my final story. June 7th is 10 days away. Commencement. I always thought it was a funny word for the end, because commence means to begin. But that's what we call it. And so I would just like to leave you with this, if you can recall one thing, because I believe it. You are a person of worth and value. You are only one, but you are one. You can't do everything, but you can do something. That what you can do, you ought to do. And that what you ought to do, you must do. What can you do? 3 things we are all capable of. We can share, we can care, and we can love. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.